Now, with a word problem, the first thing you're going to have to be able to do is take that word problem and draw a picture of the situation. So we got a support cable is anchored to the ground 5 meters from the base of a telephone pole, and the cable is 19 meters long. Oh, I think let's just draw this out. And we might change. Does that look like a good telephone pole? Not bad. And it is anchored to the ground. So here's the ground. Here's the cable attached to it. Okay? And we know that it is 5 meters from the base of the pole. So there's our 5 meters. We know that the cable is 19 meters long. Are you okay with labeling that 19 meters there? Does that make sense as a diagram? And the question says, what angle does it make with the ground? So we want to find that angle. So today we've learned that when you have a right triangle, that there's a relationship between a tangent. The tangent button on your calculator helps you understand how there's an opposite side and an adjacent side. So if we take that angle theta and we say tan of theta is the opposite side over the adjacent side, we run into a problem right now. What's the problem? We don't have the opposite side. I'm just put an X there because I don't know what that is. I need that opposite side if I'm going to use my tangent ratio. So then I look back at my diagram and say, is there any way that I could find that X with other things that I've learned? Yes, Emily. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now, the hypotenuse would be the 19, so I would have 5 squared plus x squared equals 19 squared. 25 plus x squared, 361. Subtract the 25 on both sides, and we would get x squared equal to 336. So square root of 336 tells me that x is 18.3. I'll put dots there because I don't want to round yet. We don't want to round until we're finished a question. So now that I've figured this out, I know that this x is 18.3. So now I can say my tan ratio opposite is 18.3 divided by the 5. And I have enough information here. So if I want to find just theta, I have to get rid of the tan. The opposite of tan is doing tan inverse. Again, tan inverse just means opposite of tan. And I would type this into my calculator. How does it want us to round? Did the question say? Nearest degree. So I did nearest tenth of a degree. So to the nearest degree, we would have 75 degrees. Now, if you look on your calculators, you see that there's a tan button. Right beside is a cos button. That stands for cosine. And right beside there's a button that says sin. We actually say sine. If you do that, it's not like it's bad if you push the sin button. That button is for sine. And cos and sine will also be ways to figure out this question, because there are other ratios. Because mathematicians could do everything with tangent, but then we'd have to use a squared plus b squared along the way to find the opposite side or to find the adjacent side. We're going to find out that wouldn't it be nicer if we had ratios that did, in this case, an adjacent and a hypotenuse? Because then I could just do it in one step. And the adjacent and hypotenuse one is going to be cos. So if you did cos inverse of 18.3 over 5, or sorry, if you did cos inverse of 5 over 19, and then you didn't even have to find the 18.3, you would get the answer of 75 degrees in one step, right? Which is nicer, because if you can do it without having to do this off to the side, that's even faster. So we're going to learn cos and sine as well in this unit. We started with tangent, and you could do everything with tangent, but it's going to be faster if we know sine and cos as well.